ini kali ke.
The ringgit is now the world's best performing currency against the US dollar.
Outperformed the Japanese yen and gold
Hari
prices.
ini ringgit paling kuat dalam masa 14 tahun. Paling kuat dalam Asia.
The ringgit has become the world's best performing currency in 2024. But remember, just last year, there was fear that the ringgit could drop as low as 5 ringgit to $1. Now, the tables have turned. So what changed so quickly? Is this a temporary spike, or could this be the start of a new era for us as a financial powerhouse? And most importantly, is the rise of ringgit a blessing or a curse? The ringgit climbed nearly 15% against the US dollar between July and September. Forecasts even predict that the ringgit will reach 3 ringgit 55 cents to $1 by the end of next year. For context, the last time it was this close to 3 ringgit 50 cents is what? Almost a decade ago? So before we dive into whether the forecast is unrealistic or actually achievable, let me quickly update you on why the ringgit has strengthened so much recently. It all comes back to the Federal Reserve, the central bank of the US. They recently cut the interest rate down from 5.5 to 5%.
The time has come for policy to adjust.
Think of the US economy like a car, and the Fed is the driver. If the economy goes too fast, i.e. rising prices and inflation, the Fed raises interest rates to slow things down. But if the economy is slowing down, i.e. recession like the 2020 pandemic, the Fed then lowers interest rates, making borrowing money cheaper, and hence people have more pocket money to shop left and right. But why does it matter to us? We are not Americans, what? Well, the US dollar is the world's most dominant currency. Many countries, including Malaysia, trade globally in US dollar. So, like it or not, they are the taiko, or the big boss in the world right now. Their economy and its interest rates are deeply influential worldwide. Now, with that being said, the lower interest rate on the US dollar right now has made it less attractive to hold, making the ringgit stronger in comparison.
But yet, other currencies have benefited from it, right?
Yeah, you're right. But still, we have outperformed many of our neighbors to be the world's top currency this year. Quick pause. Now that the ringgit has strengthened so much against the US dollar, it is an ideal time now to buy more US dollar and invest in the US stock market for their amazing long-term return. But if you're still afraid of the stock market, no problem. Moomoo has partnered with Nasdaq to host a global US stock paper trading competition, and it's completely free of risk and also free and easy to enter. You get to trade with $1 million in virtual funds, experience real-time US market conditions, and as long as you have a positive return, you'll be able to win a portion of their weekly $20,000 rewards. But if you are super good at trading and you are, say, top 3 in your local or global ranking, you'll receive even more cash prizes and even be featured on Nasdaq screen in Times Square, New York. Feel free to use my link down below to join millions worldwide from October 14 to November 16 this year. And for new users, if you deposit at least 1,000 ringgit into your account and use my exclusive code Z11 when you do the deposit, that's Z11, you will get an instant 100 ringgit cash coupon plus an additional 40 ringgit cash coupon. That's basically no risk, all rewards. Alright, let's get back to the video. And we have also got big players coming into Malaysia, especially in sectors like semiconductors and data centers. And by the way, I've already made a full video covering this, so please feel free to check out this video over there. The surge of the FDI isn't just luck, it's the result of our government's recent fiscal reforms. Yes, the subsidy rationalization that includes the diesel subsidy cut is actually working. Look, I know no one likes paying full price for fuel, but did you know that by cutting the diesel subsidy, we can save around 4 billion ringgit instead of paying 14.5 billion ringgit just to subsidize it? That's a massive saving. Now, think about it, the 4 billion ringgit save can do wonders, like reducing our budget deficit. Basically, the outflow when our government spends more than it earns, which currently stands at around 55 billion ringgit. And a 4 billion ringgit reduction is about 7% cut on the overall budget. Not much, I know, but hey, it's still progress to build a better economy for Malaysia. And speaking of progress, our economic performance is growing faster than expected. In the second quarter, our GDP grew at 5.9%, beating Bloomberg's estimate of 5.8%, and is the highest it has ever been since PMX took over Putrajaya. All these are good signs that attract more investors into Malaysia. Then there's also Bank Negara Malaysia and the government, who have been really smart about encouraging the repatriation of overseas funds back home.
In Malaysia, it's very clear they're incentivizing corporates to convert their FX deposits to local currency. And if that continues, the ringgit will probably remain strong, in addition to the interest rate differential argument that you were talking about earlier.
They are like, hey, all you GLCs and GLICs earning so much money overseas, bring back some money back into Malaysia. In fact, back in 2016, Bank Negara Malaysia introduced a policy requiring exporters to convert 75% of their exports into ringgit, which was good because they had to buy more ringgit. But it was short-lived and lifted in March 2021. But remember, when our ringgit was hitting 4.8 to $1 back in February 2024, BNM immediately U-turned to encourage companies to bring back their overseas funds, increasing demand for the ringgit. And let's not forget China, one of our largest trading partners that made up around 17% of our total trade in 2023. Recently, China announced a series of monetary support to boost its economy, which helps improve the ringgit as well. Why? Because when China's economy is doing good, it means more demand for our goods, hence increasing our exports to them. And as a matter of fact, in the first 7 months of 2024, our trade with China has increased by 10.8% as compared to last year. And this is great for us because the more foreign currency flows into Malaysia, the more demand there will be for the ringgit. And not only that, the free visa for China and India have also helped boost tourism over here. So we're expecting even more international tourist arrivals this year. And when they're in Malaysia, eating nasi lemak, durian, spending on resorts and buying all those souvenirs, they are all spending in ringgit. Well, except for taking pictures in front of Maybank lah, which sadly, they don't have to pay for that. But the more tourists we get, the more foreign currencies are then converted to ringgit. So all these factors combined are driving the ringgit strength. But here's the question, is the rising ringgit a good thing or actually a bad thing? Well, it's a double-edged sword. We'll start with the good ones first. When the ringgit strengthens, it becomes cheaper for us Malaysians to buy imported goods. If you have just bought the new iPhone 16 Pro, you will know exactly what I mean. It's cheaper by 500 ringgit as compared to last year's. That's easily a month's worth of groceries already. But you might be wondering, my bills also don't get any cheaper these days. Well, prices don't just drop overnight. There's usually a lag, and that's because businesses typically set prices based on the cost that they pay when they buy raw materials. So if they bought the materials before the ringgit strengthened, the prices are still based on those older, higher costs. And let's be real lah, most retailers won't just cut the prices just because their costs are lower. Nevertheless, the good news is that traveling overseas will be cheaper right now. So if you're planning a trip to Japan or Korea, it's your perfect time to go right now. And man, I am so sorry for all the Singaporeans who love coming to JB during their weekends. Our ringgit is stronger right now. And it's not just about consumers. A strengthening ringgit can help attract more talent to our country, especially with more jobs created from the FDI. But as I said, it's a double-edged sword. There are also downsides to consider, primarily for a country like Malaysia, which relies heavily on exports. In fact, exports made up around 67% of our total GDP in 2023. Therefore, for many of the exports like the electrical and electronic products, petroleum and also palm oil price in US dollar, a stronger ringgit means they become more expensive for the foreign buyers. This could potentially lead them to buy from other countries where the goods are cheaper, and as a result, the export companies will definitely feel the pressure. They might even see a 5 to 10% cut in their earnings. But this is just the estimation for some of our tech companies. Not every company is the same, of course. You see, for companies that sell and receive payment in US dollar, the rise in ringgit is bad news to them. Previously, when the ringgit was weaker, for every $1 in sales, they could get around 4.70 ringgit. But now, with a stronger ringgit, they're only getting about 4.20 ringgit for the same dollar. an 11% drop in revenue. I think people earning in US dollar here are probably feeling this pain, right? Let me know in the comments down below if you do, because I feel you, bro. So after all of this, I guess there's only one last question yet to be addressed. Will the rise in the ringgit last? Well, it depends on what happens next with the US Fed and of course our very own Bank Negara Malaysia. The Fed is likely to reduce the interest rate even further to 4.5% by the end of this year. And if that happens, we might see the ringgit rise even more. But usually, BNM will follow the Fed's action by cutting the OPR just with a bit of time lag. And based on this comparison of the US Fed rate hikes versus Malaysia's OPR increase back in 2022, we can see that while the Fed started raising rates in March 2022, Malaysia didn't make any changes until 2 months later in May 2022. And even then, the OPR adjustments were relatively small compared to the Fed's more aggressive moves. As for now, we'll just have to wait for what BNM decides in their upcoming meeting in early November. If they decide to cut OPR, we might just see the ringgit weaken a bit. But if they choose to keep rates the same, the ringgit could stay strong for a little longer. So how much do you think PMX contributed to all of this? Let us know in the comments down below who you are voting for in the next election, and do subscribe if you like this video. And if you are still watching up until this point, you will definitely want to watch this video. See you over there.